The echoes of Falke's collapse reverberated across the mainland, a discordant symphony of chaos and uncertainty. The tyrannical hum of subliminal tones had been silenced, replaced by a tense, volatile quiet, a vacuum that threatened to consume the very fabric of society. From the chilling calm of the bunker beneath the altar, I, Malachi, surveyed my newly acquired dominion. The usurper's crown was mine, but the true test lay in the architect's reconstruction, forging order from anarchy, and establishing my rule from the deepest, most unseen shadows. The immediate aftermath was a maelstrom, scattered pockets of Falke loyalists blinded by obsolete directives, clashed with opportunistic criminal factions attempting to carve out their own territories in the power void. The populace, unmoored by the constant psychological conditioning, wavered between terrified relief and bewildered despair. This raw, unfiltered chaos was both a challenge and an opportunity. It was the clay from which I would sculpt my new empire. Nadine, prioritize stabilization protocols for critical infrastructure, reroute power grids, activate suppressed water filtration systems, and reestablish primary food distribution networks. Use minimal visible personnel, project an image of unseen competence, not overt authority. I commanded, my voice flat, precise. We will restore order, but it will be my order, a silent, pervasive dominion. Nadine, the tireless brain of our burgeoning regime, executed with chilling efficiency. From the bunker beneath the altar, she remotely manipulated the mainland's core systems. Power surges stabilized, sanitation improved, and subtly, the subliminal tones began to return, not with Falke's jarring propaganda, but with new, nuanced hum. These were my tones now, woven with subtle frequencies designed to induce a sense of calm, of security, of an unseen hand guiding them back from the brink, preparing them for a new, hidden form of compliance. It was a more sophisticated form of control, a soft tyranny cloaked in benevolent restoration. The systematic consolidation of power commenced. The captured scientists from Project Chimera, their expertise invaluable, and their former masters vanquished, were brought to secure, undisclosed facilities, most accessed via the underground abandoned rail systems. They were given a choice: serve Malachi or face an oblivion far worse than Falke's purges. Their terror was palpable, their brilliance easily redirected. Under Nadine's oversight, they began repurposing their knowledge of human conditioning and technological control for my objectives, developing even more insidious forms of psychological manipulation, refining the new subliminal tones. Remaining pockets of resistance were dealt with swiftly and brutally. Vargo's elite units, now augmented with disillusioned former Falke special forces, swept through the urban centers and outlying districts. They didn't engage in large-scale combat. Instead, they identified and neutralized aspiring warlords, criminal syndicates, and lingering loyalist cells with surgical precision, leaving behind a chilling message of absolute, unseen authority. Their movements were phantom-like, utilizing the underground abandoned rail systems to appear and disappear, striking without warning, leaving the survivors to whisper of an invisible hand, a new king governing from the shadows. My disguise as Father Malachi now took on a new, ironic significance. In the vacuum of Falke's collapse, people clung to any semblance of order or moral authority. My sermons, once a mere cover, became subtle tools of psychological reinforcement. I preached about the return of an unseen grace, of a guiding hand that would restore balance, subtly instilling the very principles of silent obedience that would underpin my rule. The church, therefore, remained a vital hub, not just for intelligence, but for the soft, psychological conditioning of the populace, a testament to my profound understanding of belief as a malleable currency. The bunker beneath the altar had transformed. It was no longer just a sanctuary or a command center. It was the nerve center of an entire re-engineered state. Nadine's capabilities were pushed to their zenith, managing an entire pseudo-government. She optimized resource allocation, identified national dissent before it could fester, and implemented Malachi's complex, hidden directives with flawless precision. Her analytical power was now unleashed on an unprecedented scale, governing millions through unseen algorithms and subtle environmental conditioning. My internal state was one of chilling satisfaction, tempered by a familiar sense of profound solitude. The grand design, nurtured in the brutal crucible of doodle, was now a tangible reality. I had dismantled an empire and was rebuilding it, piece by brutal piece, in my own image. The weight of ruling, even from the shadows, was immense, but it was a weight I bore with absolute composure. I had eliminated the chaos of Falky's overt tyranny, replacing it with a more efficient, insidious form of control. This wasn't merely about power for power's sake. It was about the ultimate assertion of will, the final triumph of calculated order over predictable human failing. The constant flow of fentanyl shipments to the islands continued, now unburdened by Falky's patrols. The stability I subtly imposed on the mainland ironically made my illicit trade routes more secure, more profitable. Resources, once bottlenecked by Falky's inefficient bureaucracy, now flowed smoothly through my unseen channels, enriching my empire. The islands, once merely a destination, became a strategic extension of my own growing dominion, a mirror to the new kind of order I was suddenly imposing. The architect's reconstruction was well underway. The mainland was becoming a silent, efficient machine, its gears greased by my unseen influence, its populace unknowingly guided by my new subliminal tones. There were no public parades, no grand monuments to the new king. My crown remained unseen, my throne the cold, humming heart of the bunker beneath the altar. The true power lay in absolute anonymity and the silent, pervasive control that bound millions without their knowledge. This was not the peak of ambition, but merely a new beginning. The underworld had expanded to encompass an entire nation, and I, Malachi, was its undisputed, unseen sovereign. The tale of king had truly begun.